Alright, live for the first time from the new pad. Hopefully audio and everything is good. Let's do some puzzles. So this is our first one. And looks like there might be some king hunt going on here. It seems very likely given that we're down a piece. Otherwise, like, what compensation do we really have? It's possible to arrange for taking things with check potentially, like go here, they go here, we take this with check, but even then, I think what they really want is to get the king to safety, so I'm considering just moving this knight. They might actually have multiple moves that they would like to play here. For instance, if they could play a move like g5, maybe any kind of attack on the king would lead to them running away to g6. So we're down a piece and a pawn. I don't think there's really much chance of recouping that material here. But I think moves like knight d3 or knight d6 are a little bit slow. Or, I mean, knight d5, like whatever. These moves look kind of slow. Or maybe knight h5. That doesn't mean they're wrong, but I'm grasping a little bit for useful candidate moves. I think the problem with the most obvious move, which is rook g2, is that they'll go here, and then we're sort of lacking a useful move here as well, because I don't think there's anything to really deal with the rooks, and if we play this obvious knight takes d5 move, they can play king e6, and we can collect some pawns potentially, but we're already down so much material that I'm not too sure that it actually helps. For example, knight b6, and they might, I don't know, move this rook here. That looks totally normal. I could take this just so my knight's not trapped, mess up their pawn structure, and then I'm kind of just out of things to do, out of useful things as far as I can tell. Or maybe not. Maybe it would be something like we check, they go here, we take this, they go there, we play knight b6, they move. Let's say rook b8. Then I could play d5 check, king takes e5, and knight d7. But again, like, we're down a piece, so winning an exchange is probably not good enough. By the way, anyone who's tuning in, feel free to tell me how my audio is coming in. I have a new setup completely, and I need some affirmation that everything's working fine for you guys. Okay, but this is also just one line. Like, I think if I go here, they could also play king to h4. I don't think I really want to play for a draw by checking them again. And might not even get the draw that I want. If, with like rook h2, maybe they'll play king g5 and it's actually different from before. It might not be an improvement. So I think rook g2 doesn't make a lot of sense. Manta, welcome. Thank you for confirming that the audio is good. I just moved to a new apartment and I don't know how the acoustics are really. I do know that one thing is the same. My chair is sinking. My chair is always sinking. Okay. So I think rook g2 is not quite it, if I had to guess. So that's why I was considering these knight moves, like even some pretty quiet knight moves here. But I also don't see a huge threat coming in. Maybe I really do just want to get these center pawns rolling, but being down a piece and a pawn, I feel like they could always sack a minor piece back. So I don't know, let's just take one. Like, let's pretend we take this pawn, right? And they do something, just anything. Maybe a logical looking move is knight e7. Trying to trade the knights and play rook takes c3. I would probably proceed with rook g2. Force them to play something like maybe king h5, just kind of guessing a good move there. Sorry, I keep switching back and forth. Yeah, so maybe it'll be something like this. And I could play maybe like rook f3. This could be something, but it's not very forcing. That's what kind of confuses me here. Because if I play knight d5, they don't have to play knight e7. Maybe they would play rook f8, try to trade this rook. We might still see rook g2, and again, they also have like every king move here. Maybe just for sake of argument, in this line, they play king h3. I could bring the knight back to f4, so maybe they want to avoid that. Maybe they would still play king h4. But now rook f3 is a bust because rook f8 is preventing that completely. There's just no way it's going to happen. So that's difficult. I don't know. I haven't done puzzles in a few days because I was moving, so this is definitely my hardest puzzle in a little while, at least online. I also thought about this one, and let's say that they take it, right? Check. They go like here, maybe. Good check. They go here. And then king h2. That looks like it wins the game. Okay, so maybe I go here. The idea of knight g6 is to prevent rook f8. So maybe they take it, a check. They go here, rook f3. Looks good. So maybe they would try this with the idea of playing g5 and king g6. If I go here, they play g5. If I go here, they go back. I think that's a successful defense against this idea. So maybe not knight g6. It's hard to figure. Okay, maybe maybe we should go back to this king pursuit. Like maybe we check, they go here. Well, hold on. I think I have a new idea in this line where like I check, they go here, I take this, they go here, we come back, they keep running, and then we take on g7. So this could be something. You get a couple pawns. Maybe. But I also don't know what to do against this. Maybe this is like a tempo up version of the same. Like maybe we can check, take, check. No, maybe not. Maybe not check, but I don't know. It all still seems pretty far-fetched. Manta has a suggestion that there should be a checkmate on the H file somehow. That's a good suggestion. I had a similar thought, but since I don't see it, it makes me wonder if it's really there. Because after this check, like let's say they just play king h4 for sake of argument, where's the mate? Okay, actually I have an idea. You might be right, but my I went a little bit fast here. So I check here. I should play king f2. I think this is the mate that we're looking for here. The reason I missed this earlier is I thought check, they go here, and that we have to try to somehow like lift the rook or do a square clearance. But king f2 looks like it does it. So you are right, Manta. That's true. So let's say we check, they go here, right? We're still wondering what is the follow-up here after king f5. Yeah, the fact that it's not that easy to analyze rook g2 or any of these knight moves is why I didn't play the first move right away. I thought none of those were really clear. But rook g2 does look promising right now. King f5, and then what? Maybe rook takes g7? Is that crazy to do? They might play rook g8 to try to trade these pieces, but then okay, anyway, I'm still just thinking of like what am I gonna do after king f5? That's the general question here. Knight d5 is kind of, you know, an obvious move. We could grab a couple of pawns in a row, but I think the initiative runs out pretty quickly. So I'm looking for something more spectacular than that. Well, I think whatever move we play with the knight, they're playing king e6. And I don't see a useful way to prevent king e6. Actually, maybe I do. Maybe we check, they play king f5, we play knight h5 check, they play king e6, only move, and then knight takes g7. And that is an attack on the king and the rook. They can only go to e7 or d7. I imagine they would go to d7, just guessing. We could take that rook. Now the question would become, is it good enough? Because we are down a piece and a pawn to start out, and then we're winning an exchange and a pawn. I think this is good enough to play rook g2. Now we're still wondering about knight h5. I think we kind of ruled out all the other options except rook g2 there. Now knight h5 looks very tempting, probably winning some material. I think knight h5 is clearly better than knight d5. Have we missed any other options here? Maybe like knight d3. Oh, actually, hold on. Maybe they could play king e4. Maybe we missed this. Is that a possible move? It certainly looks possible. Okay, so we should probably chill out here for a minute and see what else we have. So, because they don't necessarily want to play king e6. It could also be king e4. Well, maybe we don't care if they play king e6 or king e4. Like, for example, we could play knight d3, king e4, knight c5, king e3, and this looks like a position where there should be a mate somehow. Maybe like check, they go here, check, they go here. And then king h2 with rook g1. I expect that, like, even though they can block with bishop d1, they're not going to survive. Okay, so this looks valid. And now if they go here, knight c5, king d7 maybe. No, that's legal. King e7, rook takes g7, king d8, and knight b7 mate. That looks like something. So I think knight d3 might be it. I think the idea here is to go get that knight on c5 and commence with the attack. Hello, Jütermaster. So I think knight d3. I'm pretty happy no matter what king move they play. Right, okay. Now we do this for the tempo. And we do this, and then there's that mate that I just mentioned. Alright, that was pretty nice. Basically, forced mate. And here's the recap if you just tuned in. Check, check, and then knight d3, not knight d5, not whatever. And now we don't care if they go here or here, because if they go to king e4, they get checkmated on, like, probably c1 or b1. And if they go back, then we get this mate. Maybe we could look at this real quick if they go to e4. I was planning this move. They go here. And I thought here, and then here. Well, actually, they wouldn't play king e2. They go here. And I thought king h2 with the idea of rook g1. They might try this, but, you know, that's a check. And I figured we should win here with some kind of knight move like this. Yeah, so the king gets checkmated on b1. Okay, so I don't know why the computer chose this way to get mated. Maybe I missed something here. Oh yeah, it says rook g3 is mating too. That's a tricky, schmancy kind of move to find. Even though I got this one right, I'm going to share it with my Discord just because I kind of like that weird little mating too. Just see that one later on. Alright, where's the tactics part? Oh yeah, and if you guys ever want to join my Discord, feel free to just say something in the chat. I will post a fresh link for you. Fresh links. Best kind of links. Alright. By the way, can you guys hear the street noise on the microphone? At my old place, I had like different kinds of noises and no one ever said anything. I'm just curious about what you guys can actually hear. So I can adjust my settings, optimize. Alright, Jütermaster can't hear it. That's good enough for me because Jütermaster is mostly the guy who's watching my content. Alright, cool, thanks. Right. Yeah, so I just moved to New Orleans, and what I mostly heard from people whenever I mention New Orleans is like, oh, it's dangerous, oh, it's loud, don't go there. but like so far it's been really quiet and nice, and I have no regrets so far. All right, now what are we doing here? We have some knight situations. We have maybe some rook situations. This bishop is like doing nothing, but maybe it could become useful one day. Maybe some pawn action like that. I don't know. Kind of want to get at that king. That'd be cool. Get at him. I mean, their pieces aren't well placed. Kind of interesting placement, but not best placement. Yeatermaster says he's heard people saying that New Orleans is dangerous. Well, sort of. Depends on the metrics that you use and your personal situation. There's a lot going on here. That's definitely true. But you know what? Since I'm from like basically Camden area, I'm used to living in whatever the murder capital of the world is. For me, it was like Camden, Philadelphia, and now New Orleans. It's just like wherever I go, it has a bad reputation. But a lot of it is just talk. I also think that some people have preconceived notions based on the kinds of people who live in these places. And they tend to just, exercise those preconceived notions. Yeatermaster is asking, will I ever go to St. Louis? I have been meaning to go there to like play a tournament or something, but compared to like the East Coast, West Coast, whatever, it's kind of like the middle of nowhere. I have no other reason to go there, so it's taken me a while to make it out there. I like to go somewhere where I have another reason to go anyway. But I will, hopefully, at some point, get it done. Now, what about something like knight takes h5? They just take back. Let's just pretend. Then I could play like g4, but then they come right back to f4. They also have knight f6 possible. I don't know if any of that is really helping our situation. There's like knight c6 type stuff on the menu, but there's no way you're going to dislodge a bishop that lives in the corner. Like, it's just not happening. I kind of feel like these knights are not that well coordinated. Like, maybe there's something here where we kick those knights. By the way, Yeatermaster, if you're asking me about what will I ever go to St. Louis, what event do you think I should play if I go to St. Louis? I do not have a current plan for my next tournament, so I'm open to suggestions. I was thinking about going to Spain, but I need to save up some cash money to make it happen. Yeatermaster has the idea of getting on the c-file with queen c2 at some point. Like, we could take and play queen c2 maybe. Interesting idea. I wonder if you should just play queen c2. Or just go ahead and take on h5. I don't know which one we should start with. I'm inclined to just say queen c2. Idea is to play rook c7. And the knight on e5 is doing a good job of hitting f7, so they're probably in some kind of trouble. I don't know. Let's pretend. Queen c2, what would they play? If they take on g3, we'd just play fg3. The knight could go to d5, so maybe that's why we would play knight h5. So they can't play knight d5 to protect c7. But they could probably protect c7 differently. Let's say we take, and play queen c2. Maybe they're going to have to allow rook c7, like play rook f8, rook c7, queen d8, something like that. And we're not winning f7, but we could definitely take on a7. And that looks very dangerous for black. What's the situation on the ground here? We have 5 pawns. We're down a pawn, but like we could win a pawn with huge pressure with this idea. That looks pretty convincing. I don't see a lot of other things going on here. So I'm willing to just go for it. All right, maybe just slow down here for a second in case there's something better that I missed. Like queen d1, I think let's play knight f4, and then that's not really interesting. Queen c2 still looks pretty good. Oh, you know what's funny? There's queen c2, rook f8, rook c7, queen d8, and queen g6. I'm pretty convinced. Yeah, that queen g6 is a nice touch. Just to show you guys what I meant here, it might be like this. And bam, because there's a pin. So they would have to go here and then suffer horrid pain, suffering, and blah blah, you know, just bad stuff. I don't even know if this is like how I would want to proceed. I might have other more devious things to do like this. Yeah, because when they take, we're threatening mate, so we should be able to get that knight. Should be able to. Okay, anyway. Looks good, and Utermaster was on the right track. Yeah, Utermaster says that a lot of people play in St. Louis, but not sure of the tournaments. I also don't really know what tournaments. Like, US Open, maybe? I thought that was like a rotating tournament. Maybe they put that in St. Louis. I've never played US Open. I've played National Open, but I haven't played that other one. Okay, so we're in check. We literally can't go to any of these squares except for these, so these ones in yellow, or whatever color you think that is. Probably orange. Maybe burnt sienna, something. Anyway, this paint chip colored thing right here, this is our options. We can go on those two spots. Or if you want to be even more schmancy, blue. Yep, St. Louis is the chess capital of the world. That's right, I guess. But they've kind of branded themselves that way. They really didn't used to be. St. Louis used to be like, what do you even do there? And now, I think Sinquefield basically made it the chess capital. Now, I can choose to put my king here or here. And our queen is also hanging, but if they take it, we give mate, and we have knight g3 mate here as well. That's an important detail. I think it's a question of where do we want to tuck our king, because, you know, either way, they're going to take this bishop probably, and we can end up like here, or we can end up here. I'm inclined to want to go on f6 and hide, especially like if we start in with, I guess the main difference is that if we start like here, they can go with queen c7. And if king f8, then we're just in a worse version of king f8, because then they can take with check, and we can't play king g7. Bad. So if queen c7, king f6, maybe they'll play knight d7. But also, do I care? Like, maybe I'll play king g5. Then they have queen f4. We take. They take with check. We take here. And knight g3 is still on tap. That's quite a line. So anyway, that's just one line as well. Like knight d7, maybe they don't have to. Maybe they also have g5. If king takes, then there's queen e7. This looks a little bit more threatening, in my opinion. Because if I have to play king on any of these squares, oh, I can't play that one, but you know, like if the king's on the h file somewhere, then they can take, and take. And escape. So I think king e7 loses. King f8 at least forces them to choose, right? If they play knight d7, king g7, they don't have the fancy queen moves. So after knight g6, I think that's the main option here. King g7. Queen c7 is happening. But then we have king g6. And we're not on the dark squares anymore. This already looks promising. I think we could probably just start with king f8. We also have king f7 here, so maybe there's a difference. I personally don't really care if they take on h8. Like if I go here and they take with check, I'm taking with the rook. If they throw this check now, I'll play king g6. So I wonder what the difference is here. I think if I go here, they might check, and then we're in trouble, different trouble. Okay, so I think we have to play king g7. If king f6, then queen e5 could be a thing. No. All right, so what's the difference between king g6 and king f6? If we play king g6, then there's pawn takes f5 check. I don't know if I care. Big question mark, because I could play maybe king g5. Oh no, but again, there's queen e7. So maybe I need to prevent this. All right, so we have two options here. Maybe I'll just put circles on them. All right, so it looks like Heater Master was giving a line. He said king e7, queen c7, g5, king g5, queen e7. Yeah, that's right. He said king f7 comes with check. I don't understand that part, but your earlier line, that made sense to me. Okay, so we're choosing now just between king g6 and king f6. I wonder why I can't just take back on f5. Like, let's say I take, they take, I take. Queen d6 is a no-go, queen b6 no-go, so only this check. But then king g5. And now they don't have any more checks. That makes sense anyway. Like, not that I can see. Okay, so I take, take. Is there something else that I'm missing here? If they take on f2, they get mated again, because knight f2 is mate. If they play queen h2, I'm playing rook h2, like totally winning. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. And I could play king g5, but then there's queen g7. Just looks bad. So we're taking this. And a little desperado thingy here. And I'm taking that bishop too, so I think they could take this, but I'm taking that and I'm up material. At least it feels like it. So I could take the queen, but does king g5 win the game? No, there's queen e7. I have to take it. Okay, and that was that. Good. Solid win. I don't think I've ever started one of these tactics and chill type deals with 3 successful puzzles. In fact, let me scoot that over a little bit so you can see that it's 3. Count them. 3 big ones. Alright, so they just took our stuff, and as everyone knows, you're not allowed to take the coach's pieces. That's illegal. So they must suffer for their crimes. That was quite rude of them. Like, seriously, who invited them? If I play queen f6, there's queen c8. That looks bad. If I take with the pawn, then what? Their queen's hanging. They could probably fix that. For example, bishop d7, queen d7, queen a4. Maybe that's a thing. Just trade all the pieces. Well, I don't see any queen move that doesn't lose horribly. Pawn takes looks fine. Rook c4 could be a thing. They take on d8. We play bishop b5. So we are, what, down, we're down a piece for now. If we play rook c4, we win a piece back. Like, not in a complicated way. I guess I wonder if their bishop is trapped somehow. Just to draw some arrows to show what I'm thinking. Could be rook c4. If they take back, we just take the bishop, so they have to play bishop d8, I think. Yeah, if they play bishop d7, then we just take with the queen. So they have to play bishop d8. We take like this, so their bishop's hanging. I don't know. I don't really like this because I think they could make things confusing with knight d4. We take, they take, we take, and it's just not really working. Okay, so I think we have to take like this. No? Is it really this? I thought it was this move, but it was wrong. I thought about rook c3 too, but like, it looks stupid. Maybe this one? What's the difference here? Are we like winning a pawn or something? Let's say they go here. Yeah, it says this is like -6 because we win this pawn. That's insane. I mean, like, not unexpected that you'd be better, but that's a huge advantage. I didn't really expect that. But I should probably also recognize that this is a normal position. Like, why would I be better here? Okay, so I understand that. Okay, minor setback in terms of the results. I kind of just want to open up this side of the board. But this knight is hanging. That would be silly. Well, mate's also there, so maybe that's correct. That's an idea. They can't play like knight b2 or anything, so it looks pretty good. They could take on g7 or something, but it doesn't look really effective. I think the king side is all under lockdown. It looks good. You know, I'm willing to wager it's b3. Yes. Now I could take this. Maybe then they have rook g7. I take, then queen e5. It looks like unwanted counterplay. So maybe I should continue to thwart their efforts. Maybe there's something here where they take this and then we have a tactic. Maybe rook here, they take it, we take it, they take it, and then something cool. Where's the cool thing? There's supposed to be something cool here. Something cool like rook b8. King c2 maybe. Something cool. Maybe queen a2. Knight b2. Not quite coming together. Lots of arrows. it could be queen a2. They take. Now there's no mate threats, and rook b1 is right there. Very strong threat. But they could maybe avoid it with bishop d3. But this rook is also hanging, so maybe I could play something like rook b1, they take, I take with check because it's a queen, they take, and then I take their rook. Or maybe I'll just take this one. Take the knight, I'm sorry, take the rook with the knight. And if they take the knight, then I take the rook. And then I'll have rook against knight, rook and bishop against knight. So I'm up a piece, basically. And if they rescue their rook, then I am playing with rook, bishop, and knight against rook and knight. That's also good. So I think queen a2 is good. Not missing anything here. No, I think this is it. So far, so good. Now is rook b1 good enough? You know, they'll take. I think I just win this rook at the end of the line. But is there anything better? No, I think this is it. Okay, that was it. Good. Lucky me. That was actually a pretty easy calculation there. We have pawns against rook situation. Always fun to do. Could it be a transition to a king and pawn endgame? Well, I go here, they take it, of course, what else? We take, they take, we take here. Now they cannot go away from this pawn on h7. So they might just take it right away, but can they improve their pawns? Good question. Well, I'm playing d6 right now. I think that just wins. I think it's this. Okay. Now if they have to play this, then I should be in good shape. Because after king d3, they take, I play... I was thinking b4. They take it, I play c5. They take it, I play a5, and they have the same problem again. I think it should be king d3. Because why shouldn't I stay in touch with this d pawn? I was wrong. Okay. Go here. So I thought this was fine. I was really not worried about it. They go here. Oh, actually I can't play my break with my king on d4. That's why. That was silly of me. Okay, because they are actually promoting their e-pawn if I do that. Okay. That was a bit sloppy. Otherwise I had it right. So I just did this. And it's our turn to win the game. This looks like it should be won in like several ways, just looking at it. Like maybe I go here threatening this check, and then wherever they go I check and promote. That seems pretty easy. I don't see why I should throw in a move like this, for example. It's like Because I could always do it on the next move. Like, if I have to play knight e4 anyway on the next move, why am I doing that first? So I'm going to do this. Now I can improve my king. Or I could go ahead with my plan. I check, they go maybe here, I check, they take, I make a queen, but then they actually have this skewer at the end. That's a problem. So I was thinking this originally. And I thought mostly about this move. I check, they go here, I make a queen. That's nice. Now if I go here and throw this check, and they go here, I could play g2, and this is also winning. So I have multiple wins here. Or actually I have multiple winning ideas. Not multiple wins. I think this is still the most precise. So what's wrong with just playing g2? I guess that's the next natural question. They could play king f2. That would be annoying. g2, king f2, knight e4. King g1. Yeah, the attack is stalling. So it's f2. I think that's the moral of the story. f2, they go here, and we don't promote right away. We play g2. Okay. And every Russian schoolboy knows, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So we move on. Just your casual rook and pawn endgame as a tactics puzzle. Typical light chess. We are promoting. So let's say we go here. They have two options, here and here. I don't see a problem with either of them. So maybe if I start pushing, they'll start pushing. It seems like a realistic problem. So maybe it's not a2. Could be this check first to not lose a pawn. They go, I guess, here because, of course, what else? Maybe king g5 threatening rook back to, sorry, king b4 threatening rook back to g2. But I think they can do this defense with the king in the corner. So maybe that's not even like good enough. Yeah, not sure about this one. Not at first glance anyway. I don't think it's really possible that I'm cool with losing this pawn. It's just like, what do I want to do with my very brief moment in the sun here? I don't think it really means much for me to go win this pawn because they really want to push this pawn. I think that's the main deal here. The main dealio. Okay, so let's say I went here, just pretending, and I went here, and they took this pawn. Well, I would take it, they would take it, and I would play b6. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying the moves wrong. g3, f6, g2, f7. I make a queen, they make a queen, and this is just some kind of boring equality. So if that defense works, where they can just go ahead and take the pawn, they don't see no ghost, and it's at least equal, then I really don't think that this is the move. Unless there's something spectacular lurking, but I don't think so. So I think this move makes the most sense. Why would I give up my pawn just like that? So I'm going to play this one. No, curses. Why did they choose that defense? That doesn't make very much sense to me. What's the deal here? I thought for sure that they would go here. It says rook f2, only move to win the game. If they go, let's say they just take this. We're actually winning this king and pawn endgame. Okay, we're actually just winning it. How did I calculate this wrong? This is like so obvious. I guess I thought here and f6. Yeah, so I was just too hasty. Thank you for the follow, Sai. On Twitch. Yeah, this was so silly of me. I don't know what I was thinking. That's ridiculous. You're catching me right at the end here, Sai. I'm probably just going to do a couple more and then call it a day because I still need to get some rest. Okay, so they've put rook e2, taking a piece for free, and material is now equal. If I take this and they take, I can take the rook. So what's the trick here? Queen g3 is happening, but like if I take, I think rook g2, queen e3 maybe, king h2, or maybe king h1. It doesn't look so bad. So what's the problem with just taking this rook? Maybe they're playing rook f3, going for mate or something, but I don't know. It really doesn't seem like much. I'm just going to take this rook. Okay, now rook g2. I don't think other moves make sense. Maybe. Is there a difference if I play king h1 versus rook g2? Because I think I have to play king h1 either way. Okay, so if I go here, they could check, and I play rook g2, and now the rook is safe. That could be important. Maybe they'll play rook g5 at that moment. That makes sense to me. Oh, they also have rook h5, just winning the queen. So it has to be rook g2. They don't have queen f3 anymore because of rook g8. Okay, so I think this is it. Now I think king h1, not king h2, because I don't want to see some rook queen f4 or queen e5. I think queen e5 is the problem. Like if I go here, queen e5, like if I play king h1, then there's rook h5, and if I play king g1, then I think they have a free move to do what they like. So king h1, queen e5 anyway. And here I was thinking this check. They can only go on one of these two squares. This check next, and then they can go on only one of these three squares. they're definitely running out in the open, and that feels kind of like should be the way to go. If they play king d8, I'm sorry, king d6 or king c6, I should have rook d8 or rook c8. Both reasonable moves. So what if they play king b6? Maybe I should be doing something different. I don't know. I just want to use more pieces in the attack. And also my rook's hanging. Oh, you know, if they play king on the d file, I'm playing rook d8. So if I throw this check, they have to go here, really. I'm taking this, I think. Yeah, I don't see why not. They go here. If king c6, I should at least have rook c8. That looks pretty good. So king b6 is the problem. They're playing rook h5 right now. So I'm limited to moves that make sense even when they play rook h5. They're also playing queen a1 right now. So I'm also limited to moves that do not lose the rook. So I need moves that don't lose the queen, don't lose the rook. I think I should move my queen out of danger like this. I was thinking to play queen f7. So what's the problem? I go here first. I thought about this, but I don't see why I would want my rook still on g2. Oh, okay, queen g3. I was thinking to trade queens, but I only really noticed like this way. And I noticed that the rook is stopping it, so. Okay, that was not so good. Could probably have solved that. But I was optimistic about this position. How bad is this really? Or this position. It says black is only slightly better. Probably within the threshold where the engine could be wrong. After like rook b1 or rook c1 or c3. Yeah, it's hard to tell here, in my opinion. Even a move like, I don't know, maybe like rook b1. Okay, now they want us to sack this. Yeah, it's hard to tell if this is not, to tell that it's, well, I don't think it's losing. I don't think it would ever be losing. I think this whole part here, where you just like check and then trade queens, this is the whole puzzle. That's the main thing. Could have been a puzzle all by itself. Okay, so we keep going. Not doing as good now as I was at the beginning, but it's fine. What's the deal with this? You know, maybe I can take this one. I think if I take here, they want to back this bishop up or something. Maybe take here even. Okay, so maybe there are real problems with this knight. Maybe I could just fork the rooks. Is that so bad? You know, they move this bishop somewhere. Like, I don't know, you take this, I take your rook. You throw a check, I take your rook. You move this rook, I take the rook. I think I'm just taking a rook here. Like, okay, I'm unamused. Well, this is weird. 2600 one move double attack. Okay, I'll take it though. It's fine. I see some things here. Like maybe I take, check. Queen g7, knight e6. Oh, but then there's bishop e6. Okay, maybe not. But attack I must. There should be some attack here. Is this another like weirdly underrated one? Like I take and play. Oh no, I was hallucinating. I thought about rook e8, but there's no rook e8. It's illegal. Alright, so let's say take. Well, take, check. Maybe I would just like to deflect the queen. Because if I take, check, and then they block, it doesn't look like anything's really happening. There's also ideas like take and then this. Shouldn't be working, but you know, it's a thought. I've got a lot of ideas here. Knight d6 could be an idea. I also even just think about moving this rook, like just bring it in. Because if they take, I could take and then check. No, I guess I always have king g8. Maybe it's not as good as it looks. My idea was that when they block with queen g7, I play rook e8 and win the game. But not meant to be. So let's say I just take this, right? Well, we are down 2 minor pieces, so maybe just taking it is not good enough, but alright, how about I take? They should probably take it, because if they don't, then I'm playing knight e6 or something good. And I play rook e1. Just threatening rook e8 here. If they play bishop d7, I play queen f7. But they should still move this bishop. But where? Like, looks a little bit hard to do. If they can't move the bishop to guard e8, we might have something here. Something good. Because the queen will become overworked at some point. I'm kind of feeling knight c7. And then rook e8. I'm sorry, rook e1. With the idea of rook e8. So I'm still thinking it over. Not sure yet. Rook e8 is serious. If they block in any way, then there's also queen f7. So actually, how are they answering rook e1? They have to protect this, so they might have to go back with queen d7 or play queen d8. Those are both very promising. Well, no, queen d8, there's queen f7, so it's only queen d7. This is a very good sign, because then we at least have something like knight e6, maybe. Or we have rook f6, pawn f6, queen h6, and if queen g7, rook e8, but I think they play king g8. Okay, anyway, something should really be there. I'll be very surprised if nothing was there after this move. Okay, so they're giving the bishop. That's kind of what I thought they would do, but then aren't we? I think we're much better here. Like maybe I could even decline, politely say rook f6. But if we take, it's even material, and we just have like a small edge as far as I can tell. Well, we also more pawns, so maybe it's good enough. So this is an idea. I'm curious about this. It could be a forced win. If they play king g8, then I think we are going to be up a piece because we'll take. And if they decide to change their mind, we can play knight e6 with check and win the queen. Okay, so rook f6, they have to take it. We can check. Now there's queen g7. Doesn't work this time. I think we have to take this bishop. And then knight e6 is a big threat. They will have to meet that threat, and I'm not sure they can do it well. Okay. That was it. Very nice. Let's see the next puzzle. Okay. This might be the last one that we do, because I have to go eat dinner and stuff. But so far so good. Nice puzzles. All nice. All good. So if I check, they're probably going to block. But if I take and they take with the queen, I can get rook b8 in. And if they play king, wherever, maybe king f8, then bishop b4. Knight e7 is a must. King f8 is illegal, right? Hold on. So bishop b5, right? They go here. We take it. They take. Check. They can only go to e7, and then bishop b4 actually wins the queen. So when we do this, they block. We take. They have to take with the king. And then we have something here, like queen f7, and if they play queen e7, then there's rook b7. That looks good. We also have rook b7 right away. We're only down one minor piece, as far as I can tell. Well, I think we just have a plethora of good follow-ups after bishop b5. I don't know if it's worth considering any other move here, because they really just want to develop a piece like knight f6, and then they should be fine. Our bishop's hanging. I think this is an obvious move. Okay, they chose king f8, which acquiesces to bishop b4, and then they're playing knight e7. That's a vibe. Now, I also have queen a3. I also have... Maybe I'm trapping the queen. Maybe I go here, queen a3. And if they play queen e7, then there's bishop b4, so they'll probably play this. But then we have bishop a5. And the queen has no squares. That looks like good compensation for a bishop. Yeah, nowhere. Alrighty. That was a solid way to wrap it up, I think. We can take a look at the next one just for fun. Oh man, this one also looks pretty good. Maybe I want to do this one too. If it's quick. If I end up thinking about it too much, I will wait. Now, if I don't take this bishop, like if I try to add this move, I think they'll take queen b6, and then it's like some counterplay. So I would rather just take this straight up and then play queen h5. Can they even guard the h5 square? I think if we can take it, then we have full compensation for the bishop. I don't see why we should take here. On h5, not right away. So I'm going to take back. Oh, I was wrong. Why? Alright, take. I take. I go back. Maybe I go here. Okay, I don't see the difference. Like, let's say I just take this. King g7, I take this. Oh, rook h8 is pretty fast. Okay. Have to admit, that makes a lot of sense. It's okay. I think this was a pretty good run. Could definitely have done a little bit better, but that's fine. Still lots of improvements are being made. Alrighty, well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.